Hey, this is Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, NWFightScene.com. I'm here with the Eternal Fire, Drew Brokenshire, 145-pound champ at CageSport, defending your belt tomorrow night, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, I'm just in the middle of my weight cut right now. Got about 4 pounds to go, just sweating it out and getting ready for tomorrow.
All right, now you've been fighting at 145 for a long time. Is the weight cut kind of a routine thing for you now? Or is it difficult every time?
No, it's definitely a routine. I mean, it can be difficult at times. I mean, if I mess up on my diet even a little bit or something, it could mean a little bit longer day in the sauna or something. But overall, I got it down to a pretty good science. And the biggest thing is it doesn't take a physical toll on me. It's mainly just the mental struggle, kind of just going through it and making sure I stay in the sauna as long as I need to, or whatever I got to do there.
Right. Now let's talk about the fight. Enoch Wilson, the Animal. This guy has been around for a long time. He's one of the top 145ers in the Northwest for sure. I think he's been fighting pro since like 2005, something like that. What are your thoughts of him as an opponent?
I think it's a great opponent for me. I mean, like you said, he's just a seasoned veteran. He's been around a long time, and he's one of the best in the Northwest. So it's just a big step up for me, especially as far as name recognition goes. And I'm just ready to test myself against one of the best.
Okay, have you watched much tape on him? I know you saw him live at the Battle of the Boat, which is boxing. I saw his power there, but he's a little bit heavier than he would normally be fighting at. But have you watched much tape on him?
Yeah, I mean, I went online and looked up some of his latest fights, and we definitely got a good idea of what he's all about. And I mean, the biggest thing I saw is just that he is an animal, man. He's just aggressive everywhere. So I just got to be ready to fight, and I just plan on taking it to him.
Okay, now with your last fight, Julian Erosa, where you picked up the belt, one of the more impressive things about that fight to me was in the championship rounds, you really seemed to almost pick it up, pick up the pace. So your cardio obviously top notch. Talk about that fight and how that translated in for that.
You're definitely right. My cardio was definitely on point that fight, and that's kind of one of my main focuses is making sure my cardio is where it needs to be. I feel like technically I'm very sound everywhere, so it's just a matter of making sure I have the energy to use my technique throughout the fight. So just putting on a good pace the whole time, and then usually in the championship rounds I'm able to, like you say, kick it up a notch while other people start to fade.
Mm-hmm. Talk about a 25-minute fight. It's a long time. I mean, you're not going flat out the whole time. Talk about how you pace yourself during a long fight like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of pacing, but it does come down to knowing when you need to take your breaths and rest, and there's definitely those points, and that's part of learning to be a good fighter, I think, is knowing those kind of lulls in the fight when you need to take a break and make sure you're getting your heart rate down and things like that. But also, the big thing is just making your opponent more tired than you are. So putting a pace on that you're comfortable with, but that's probably just out of their range where they're going to start fatiguing.
Okay, now with Enoch, this guy, he either finishes people or he goes the distance. I don't think I've ever seen him finished. How do you see the fight going?
I think, just like you said, he's never been knocked out. I think he's been submitted a few times a long time ago. He's been stopped on the cut once when he fought Uriah Faber back in the day. So, stopping him isn't necessarily going to be an easy thing. It's definitely my goal. I definitely hope to put him away before the fight's over. But, I expect him to be there the whole time, and I'm ready for that because, like you said, he's just tough, and he's not going to go anywhere easily.
Okay. Now, we're here at the West Coast Fight Team in Auburn, Washington. Talk about your relationship here and what you're doing here.
I help teach a little bit here. I'm here pretty much every morning during the week doing my hard training. I got great training partners here: John Mariansky, Tim Lewis, Ricky Satterwhite, Reese Andy's helping with wrestling, and I just got a lot of good people here. And obviously the facility is real nice. We got a beautiful cage here to work in, which definitely makes a big difference. Training in in a ring is what I used to train in, and having the cage definitely adds a whole nother element to the fight game, because now you never really see too many fights in a ring. So it's definitely nice to have these tools here, and it's a great gym with a lot of great people.
Okay. Are you training up at AMC at all right now, or?
No, I'm not with AMC anymore.
Okay. But you're still working with Trevor Jackson? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Trevor Jackson comes down, meets me. I go up and meet him in Seattle sometimes.
Right.
We just do what we got to do to make it through.
Perfect. Now, talk about Ludus FC. When you say, hey, Drew Brokenshire representing Ludus FC, what is Ludus FC?
Ludus FC is basically me and Trevor. That's he's my head coach, and we've been working together for a long time, starting at AMC, and now I'm no longer with AMC, so we got Ludus FC that we fight under, and we're just chugging along, and we keep developing me as a fighter, and I think it's going great.
Okay, talk about what I had to look up Ludus. Thank God for Wikipedia. Kind of, I guess the idea of being gladiator, right? The gladiator training, is that kind of where it came from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trevor, he's a real smart guy, and he kind of came up with the whole concept of Ludus FC, and yeah, the Ludus is where the gladiators used to do all their training, so that's how that came about. Okay,
now I thought one of the interesting things, I read an interview with you that you did last year, maybe the year before, and I think one of the questions was, how many, talk about the hardships that you've had to overcome, and I think your answer was, well, I haven't had many hardships to overcome. And one of the things that's impressed me about you as a fighter is this watching your development. I think you've been very smart in how you've developed yourself, and you've surrounded yourself with good people. Talk about your thought process in terms of approaching your development.
I think it's just step by step. Like you said, I have a ton of great people around me. I work with, I'm real lucky to be at West Coast now. They have top-notch wrestling here, and that was one of my biggest flaws. My biggest losses have come to just wrestlers who haven't necessarily done a ton of damage to me, but they've been able to hold me down and win rounds that way. So, having John and Reese helping me out with that part is a big deal. Also, Trevor Jackson, he's just a brilliant mind, especially when it comes to MMA. And we have a system that we're going on, and we're constantly just developing new things. We're in here training all the time, just playing around with new concepts and making up things as we go. And really, it's just all about just getting better every fight. I'm not thinking, oh, I want to be in the UFC next month or this or that. That stuff will all come. I'm trying to be the best fighter I can be. One of the biggest changes we had recently was my cardio, was really stepping that up. Trevor's kind of taken a good grip of the reins on that, and it's improved greatly. And we're just going step by step and fight by fight and just getting better. And that's how it's kind of been my whole career. It's not so much of a rush to do anything. It's all about just improving my skills and then hopefully being a flawless enough fighter to be a world champion one day.
Perfect. Away from fighting, when you're not in a gym, when you're not training, what do you like to be do?
Lately it's all been just training. Like you said, the 5-round fights are long, so it's just been a lot of work, making sure my cardio is up to snuff. So, I'm spending a lot of time in the gym. Also, the past several months, I've been helping my brother Bobby coach at Kennedy Catholic High School, wrestling. So, the guys are actually in state right now. We got 2 guys going on, so hopefully they're doing well. Kendall and Jack, good luck. Lately I honestly haven't had much free time, but when I do have free time, when I'm going for 3-round fights and things like that, where I'm not spending as much time running and swimming and all that, I'd like to play video games if I can. Also, I've been dabbling a little bit in Photoshop here and there. Other than that, fighting's a lot of it. I watch a lot of video and watch UFC events. That's pretty much what I do with friends and family. I'll have people over for UFCs or whatever it might be, have a good time, and just surround myself with good people and just enjoy myself.
Perfect. I know you have a Facebook and a Twitter account. Tell people where they can find you online.
Twitter at Eternal Fire MMA. Facebook, just look up Drew the Eternal Fire Brokenshire. I got my fan page. I got my regular page. The fan page is more just for strictly MMA stuff. My my other page is more for friends, family, and all the other BS I like to throw up on the internet. So yeah, you can get at me there for sure.
Well, I saw that in the last couple of weeks you've been throwing up some of the old fights.
Yeah, you know, I've just been, I have a ton of fight videos from back in the day, so a lot of people haven't seen them, so I just try and throw them up periodically to help build up, you know, people's interest in my next fight, and, you know, people enjoy watching and seeing the kind of progression, you know, because even I look back at some of those old fights and I'm just like, holy crap, I sucked.
Awesome. Who do you like to thank, any sponsors for this fight?
Definitely want to thank West Coast Fight Team for, you know, being a big part of my training. Academy of Brian Johnson down in Lacey. Northwest Fight Team for always being great and helping, you know, get everybody knowing what's going on in the Northwest. Also want to thank Rainier CrossFit, helping with my strength and conditioning. Trevor Jackson, Ludus FC for all the great training they give me. Action Tattoo, they're awesome. They help me out every single fight and they're there. Check them out if you're looking to get body piercings or tattoos or anything like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Drew Brokenshire fighting tomorrow night in the main event, or maybe co-main event, or the last main event of CageSport 23?
2 or 3? 3, I think.
At the Emerald Queen Casino. Thanks, Drew.
No problem. Thank you.